This episode, we find out that there are multiple duckverses. Is a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road truly necessary? No, the answer is no. Supergirl, I started that show. We get a little review. And we find out the disgusting ways to suck boogers out of a baby's face. This is Modern Retro.
Alright, so to recap, you went to the store to get baby Oragel cocaine and
I had
enema.
to wake up to get some shit to numb his gums. But he also could have been constipated, so I was told to get this thing that's essentially a baby enema. So I went to the wrong CVS that I didn't know was not 24 hours, so it took longer. So now it is about 12:45 in the morning. And as I said before we were recording, I don't know why the baby medicine aisle is at the end of the condom and lube aisle.
Well, it's a natural progression.
Yeah, it's the progression aisle. That's the life decisions aisle.
Yeah, well, you get it because it's, you get the lube, and then you make the baby, and then you go, oh, fuck, and then you're getting baby enemas.
I guess so.
And diapers and stuff.
And it's just, so I'm sitting there, I'm looking for this thing, and I don't know, it's called a Windy, W-I-N-D-I. I don't know why. I didn't read the package. I just know it's essentially a plastic tube that will make him shit. I already found...
Hit the button, it's windy up there.
I imagine you was just like putting a tube in the baby's ass and then blowing in the other end. Like,
well, that's how
like
the new...
sort of a fucking balloon.
That's what the new, like, booger suckers are. You, like, put the tube in and you suck.
Oh.
It doesn't go in your mouth. And it's disgusting. And I can't watch it myself. I can't even listen to it.
Oh, that was gross.
I have no problem with bodily functions. As a parent, you kind of block that shit out. But I can't get behind sticking the tube in the nose and going... It's just...
Dude, look, man, baby shit, even baby pit, like, that doesn't bother me, but when I... Dude, it makes me... It does. It does. Snot. You could drop pinch a loaf on the floor right now, and I will be less disgusted than if you sneezed and had a fucking a clam hanging from your fucking nose. If you had an oyster hanging from your fucking schnoz, I would probably throw up on this table.
Now thanks to you, I won't be able to have clam chowder for a week. But so I'm in the aisle. It's about 1 a.m. I'm looking for this fucking enema thing, and you'd think at 1 a.m. it wouldn't be that busy in CVS sex aisle, but apparently it is.
That's prime time.
It is. I'm sitting there, like one guy. He's looking at me like I'm looking. Just he doesn't know what I'm looking for, but I'm in the baby thing looking. And he's down like at the other end, like looking at condoms. He's kept glancing at me like I'm like, dude, do your thing, man. I'm like, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, man. Just get your rubbers. And then another dude, because I couldn't find this fucking thing. I'm looking all over the place. I eventually found it. Somebody did that fucking thing where where it's labeled on the shelf, they put like the product next to it there, and then moved it behind one of the other ones.
Yep.
So I did happen to find it, but before I did, I had condom guy who's looking at me, and then I have another dude. He comes in, like he walks past me in the aisle, goes, "Hello." I was like, "Hi." Yeah, I'm just looking at the thing, and he goes right over.
I'm getting condoms.
He goes right over to the KY jelly, and he gets like the sensitive, not the sensitive, the one that heats up for her pleasure or whatever, him and her pleasure. He grabs it, he walks by, he goes, "Hello," and walks away again. I was like, yeah, right.
I would have looked at the other guy who was kept on glancing back at you. I would have gotten that baby enema, and I just would have looked at him and be like, "Fun times, huh?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how my night's going.
That time we were at like Cumberland Farms or whatever, the store. It's like 7-Eleven, and you guys were standing behind me, and I was buying rubbers, and I threw them on the table and just looked back.
I think we went there to go buy chips and soda and drinks, and you just decided to get some rubbers.
Yeah, well, anytime's a good time to buy rubbers, especially when I step up and I look at you, and then I look at Aaron over here, and I just look back and forth. I'm like, it's gonna be a good night. The guy was like, shit.
It's like another one of those, Mabel.
Cool.
Dude, I can't get over that fucking nose sucker thing.
Welcome back to Modern Retro.
Episode Nose Sucker.
Episode 4. Name yet to be determined, but no sucker might be it.
No sucking and loaf pinching.
Then welcome to our monthly live episode. By live, no, we're not streaming live. We that's what I call it when we're actually all together in the same room. The live show.
Lively.
For lack of a better word.
Yes.
Yo.
We're together live.
Yeah. Live for us, dead for you. I don't know.
Dead.
Yeah, well,
Did the world end?
maybe.
Ugh.
By the time this airs, the summer will be over, so the world might as well have ended.
Is it tomorrow?
For you,
No,
you
it's
fucking
22nd.
goddamn islander.
Yeah, so. What, you like cold?
No, I'd like fall.
I like 75
So
temperature.
you like New England fall?
Sorta.
75, sunny.
I like spring better
Breezy.
I don't want the snow to come.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So we should introduce ourselves.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Roy.
I'm Cuba.
I didn't know who was gonna go
I
when.
don't know. I was just looking at
Boom.
you.
Aaron took the initiative.
He did.
He was like, I'm going
Good job.
first.
Again, this is Modern Retro. Welcome to the show of our weekly ramblings and rants and a little bit of geeky news thrown in there.
A little bit. A lot of it. A lot
A
of
little
bit of
bit,
geek.
a lot of bit.
We'll try.
It's all bit of geek.
I think
You know,
I think you should recap what the podcast is, like the brief synopsis, in the beginning of each episode. Like, welcome to Modern Retro, the Week in Geek.
Elliot even did that little like fist
Yeah,
thing.
he's like, hey,
Like, gee golly.
swing it back and forth.
Gee golly, sheriff. You know?
Where the old is new again.
Yeah.
He's ripping apart his.
Yes,
Welcome to the Modern Retro, your Week in Geek.
That's
And-
just a placeholder for like all the different things I set up. Like I'm in the process of trying to come up with a better description of things, but
It'll happen.
That pitch paragraph.
yeah. That's what is it? Elevator pitch?
Yeah.
That's what it's called. It has to be like 11 seconds to be able to say who you are, what you do, and
And what the fuck you're listening to.
yeah.
You just need to put a little bit more emotion behind it or something.
My
Because you're
elevator
like,
pitch.
yeah, well, you're like, hi, welcome to the Modern Retro, this week in geek. It's just like, it's like dead.
I don't ever do it like that.
It's just
No,
like,
the way you do it is like you're talking above the mic. You're not talking to the people.
Talk to
You're
the
like,
people.
Hey guys, this is Modern Retro.
Oh,
and
you're
we're
talking
gonna
about the little intro things at the beginning that I
Yeah.
say what
Yeah,
we're talking
yeah.
about.
yeah, that thing.
I got you.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Maybe that's why I felt like he was talking so deadpan, because I was like, he's not
well, I also do those.
talking to me.
I also do those like literally right before
You
I
post
post
it?
the episode, and so by then it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So I
But
don't
listen
want
to this fucking thing for 3 hours.
yeah, and I don't want to wake everybody up. So I'm like, not like, welcome to Modern Retro, you silly motherfuckers. I'm like, welcome to the Modern Retro. Everybody is upstairs sleeping, and this is what you're gonna listen to right now.
I think you should do it like that. Did you get to listen
My
to
wife is sleeping and my baby has a tube in its ass.
That's an interesting intro. So, did you get to listen to the Pointless podcast with Kevin Pereira?
No, not yet.
So he does intros where he's like, "Hey, welcome to Pointless Podcast, and today we're going to talk to Tracy blah blah blah. But before we get to that, like, I'm just dealing with some shit right now." He's like, "I'm sorry, I got a cold, right? So if I sound like I'm fucked up, like that's why."
There's personality in there.
Yeah, well, if we fucked up the recording, I'll say, hey, we fucked up the recording. Enjoy.
No, he just he starts going on like an existential crisis
Yeah, well,
because
I
he
don't get
forgets
it.
that he's talking this for an intro.
I don't have time for that. It's the intro is just
But I mean, if
designed for 10 seconds.
if you were like, "Welcome to What Modern Retro," in this episode we talk about this, I have to be kind of quiet right now because my wife's sleeping upstairs and my baby has a tube in its head.
I should really start doing them in the basement so I can be a little
We should just
I guess
do
more
it.
personable.
Just do it. We should just do it before I leave.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why I literally bought this notebook this morning, and this is going to be dedicated solely to the podcast, so I remember what we're talking about, instead of having to go back and
Taking notes.
listen to the goddamn thing like 20 times. So yeah, now I'm going to be taking notes, and then we could do it afterwards. I could be like, hey, I still have the energy, unless we're tired like we are right now, because this episode is already fucked up because it's past 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I wanted to get here for 12:30. Roy was late getting there, and then we get here, and then Aaron not reading our group message.
Helping
when
you-
are we gonna do the next live show for 2 weeks?
Helping, dude, you're at the kitchen table helping your stepkid with homework. Your wife was at the table, friggin' cooking.
I know
feel like
we busted in with beers and just loudness and ate your pizza.
we were ready to fucking party, but dude, I'll give it to your family though. They just rolled with it. They were like, "Hey, we've got company."
It's like, hey, welcome. We're gonna go hide now. I've seen them once. They're gone. I don't know where they went.
Well,
Woodland creatures scurried into the forest.
Courtney knows we started talking about condoms and fucking lubes and stuff like that. She's like, okay, we're gonna go in Dakota's room and play some Diablo or like watch some Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Please, that kid's been out to restaurants with us.
Remember that time we started arm wrestling? it was
It was like in Dave and Buster's.
yeah, we were grown men arm wrestling like a 12-year-old girl. Like, bring it.
Well, it's
Bring
nothing,
it.
because I mean, every time we're here and she's here and we're playing video games, we're grown men taking pride in beating an 11-year-old in Mortal Kombat.
Take that, you piece of shit. It's like,
Yeah, I won. Fuck you. In your face. In your fucking face. These nuts. I mean, that's...
I just imagine Sub-Zero just teabagging the shit out of Scorpion.
Yeah, that's...
on Monday you could go to school and tell them what I'll lose.
That's how our Mortal Kombat sessions, I was going to say evolve into, they de-evolve into that.
Yeah, to the SpongeBob meme of the caveman.
It really does. I have to say, that caveman SpongeBob, best fucking meme ever. It applies to, like, everything.
It does.
You don't know what it is?
I've seen it. I know what it is,
okay.
but I don't know what it refers to, like how memes have a specific purpose to refer to something.
I'll put it this way. It adds to everything. There was a meme where it had him standing like that on like photoshopped onto a bed, and it said, "When you're hitting it with your girl so good, she calls you daddy," and then down the hall you hear what. And it just had him go, oh shit. So it's like that moment of like, oh fuck, what do I do next?
Or just that, I always kind of take
Primal
it as,
mind.
yeah, exactly. It's the your caveman primal, like, ooh. It's like, that's the face he's making, like, just like the, ooh. Like, you're ready. You're ready for when that fucking
Well, it's that fight or flight.
saber-toothed tiger
That fight or
jumps
flight
out of the
response,
bushes.
you know? That
Yeah,
fight or flight. You gotta get the fuck out of
exactly.
it. Yeah, so when you hear down the hallway,
the
what?
more you know. So what do you got today, Cuba?
I got a few things here and there. Do you want your mind blown? This blew my fucking mind. This is, first of all, this is a two-tier mind blowing, a two-tier fucking mind blow. Here we go. So first of all, it's the 25th anniversary.
No one's sucking on the other end of a tube, are they?
Not to my knowledge.
See, hold on. So if you have to suck the tube with a nose
I don't
sucker,
know. I haven't done it.
It's like the neti pot. You just kind of.
yeah. So
I
you
can't
do
do the
that.
neti pot, yeah.
So if the baby's constipated and you have to put a tube in its ass, so you have to suck that tube too? Like what? There's a lot of tubes.
I don't know.
Is it like
how,
the thickness of a McDonald's straw?
I hope it's the don't go Wendy's.
I don't know if you actually suck
don't
anything.
go Wendy's straw. Those
Don't
things
go
are like,
Wendy's
I
strap.
think it's one of the. I think it's like a tube.
Get a crazy straw.
So you know when it's coming.
I think it's one of those things where like you put it in like this, and then you squeeze, and then like it
blow the air
sucks
in.
like the air in. I think that's what it is. I don't know. It's
Well,
all I read on the package
are you
is
talking
made
about
by
the
like a
nose?
Swiss doctor.
Are you talking about the nose one or the shit one?
Oh, I'm talking about the shit one. The nose one, it's like it's fucking weird. It's fucking. The last time I had a kid, you had your tried and true egg-shaped booger sucker.
Yeah.
You know, that thing is
The
gross
bulb.
by
I call it
itself.
the bulb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was disgusting.
Dude, my parents just held me upside down by my ankles.
Just started shaking.
Get that out of there.
But yeah, now this new one is like you put it in the nose, and then it's like a rubber tube with this, and then you put your mouth at the end of like this other plastic tube. So I'm assuming there's some sort of like catch in there because like, it's shaped like a pen, and then there's like a tube that goes into the
See
nose.
what? No, but the catch has to let air through it, which means it has to have holes in it, which means you're getting snot air.
I don't know. I don't do it. I can't do it. I can change shit. I can change piss. I can change throw up. I can't suck the fucking boogers out of the, because it's gross. Like she'll do it. Like he has had a cold or something. He's very congested in the middle of the night, and she sits there and she's like. And like that's what you hear,
Dude,
and like and the kid's going back and forth, like moving his head, like he's being fucking tortured. And yeah, at the end you just kind of like move, like open the thing and like go like this to get the fucking boogers out. On
Dude,
it's fucking gross.
It's the same thing you have to do with a fleshlight, except the fleshlight when you wash it out, at least you're ashamed watching your fucking man oyster fucking go down the drain. But at least
What is with you and seafood today?
it's like human caviar. Okay.
What?
That's what you tell your
it's
girl.
not.
That's what you tell your girl.
Lovely. So that's disclaimer. That is not what was supposed to blow your mind.
Episode name idea: human caviar.
Oh man.
We'll see. We'll see what else we can come up with on that one. But gross. So it's the 25th anniversary of Darkwing Duck.
Oh shit.
Can you believe that?
Let's get dangerous.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Are you gonna bring up how Launchpad isn't Launchpad and how it's like a multiverse of Duckville or whatever the hell?
Yes. This blew my mind and pissed me off. The creator of Darkwing Duck has said this week that DuckTales and Darkwing Duck are two different universes. They're two different duckverses. He said, quote, because Launchpad appeared in DuckTales and we used Robo-Duck as the Superman character, the hero who gets all the glory as opposed to Darkwing, fans try to connect the two realities. They are two different universes in my book. We work in an alternate duckverse. To which I say, fuck you, sir. Fuck you. You're a troll. Because there's absolutely no reason to make two different duckverses.
Yeah. Well, not only that, it's not nearly popular, famous, or expansive enough. And two, you can't pick something up like that after 25 years and come out with a revelation. No, it's ours now.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
our childhood.
Yep.
It's like saying, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something like Scooby-Doo or like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yeah, I always thought that Darkwing Duck was just like it was the cousin of fucking Scrooge, and like that was just in America, and like Scrooge was in the UK or something like that.
So, yeah,
and Launchpad had planes, so he could fly back and forth and do whatever the fuck.
See, in my head canon, it was always like Darkwing Duck took place before DuckTales, because or maybe DuckTales took place before. I don't know. It's just one took place after the other, because I always figure like he was the sidekick of Darkwing, and then like I don't know, Darkwing dies or retires, and then he goes, the Launchpad goes and he works for Scrooge McDuck. Or you could look at it the other way around, I guess, where like Scrooge McDuck dies, probably makes more sense because he's fucking older, and Launchpad ends up working for Darkwing. That one probably makes more sense because in DuckTales, he was a shitty pilot, and in Darkwing Duck, he was a good pilot.
Yep.
But you know what? And then, remember Gyro?
Oh, yeah.
He could be Darkwing's armorer, like Lucius Fox.
Yeah. Yeah, so
it all works. So fuck this guy.
Yeah, he goes on to say, it drives fans crazy, but I was not a huge fan of continuity. I grew up in the Silver Age continuity with comics. Yeah, Lois Lane doesn't know Clark Kent is Superman. She suspects something. Jimmy Olsen's his pal. He went to high school with Lana Lang. The basics everybody knew, but there really was no arc or change. Every time you picked up a comic, you knew what you were starting. That's not an excuse. No, Darkwing Duck is not Silver Age comics.
If Disney can have a huge overarching universe, then so can fucking DuckTales.
Right. I mean, and there's nothing else to tie in the Duckverse.
There is no Duckverse.
Right, exactly.
He's just trying to make a fancy term for something he came up with 25 years ago and that people promptly forgot.
It's all, in my own headcanon, it's all definitely the same universe.
You know what was
the
different?
fucking Tailspin took place 40 years before Darkwing Duck.
I love Tailspin. Tailspin was one of my favorite cartoons.
Definitely, that took place in like the 30s. Yeah. So you can totally see Darkwing Duck taking place in the 90s.
With Tailspin, that was all the characters from the Jungle Book.
Right.
So is that like that millions of years of evolution led up to Tailspin, or is that a different verse where they're just evolved more?
Well, I would say that those are two congruent multiverses, that Jungle Book and Tailspin. Doesn't make any sense, really, because unless they had some sort of like mutagen.
It's like they're ancestors from like thousands and millions of years ago.
Because they're clearly the same characters. Yeah. We got Baloo, King Louie, Shere Khan. They're just that I will say that can be two different universes, because one doesn't make sense. One they're animals in the jungle. Another one they're flying.
Yeah, the other one they're
pirates. But
a lot more anthropomorphic.
yeah, Shere Khan is a businessman and not
he's like isn't he
killer.
like a biplane pirate?
No. That was like the fox. I don't remember his name.
Wasn't it a wolf or something too?
Wolf, fox, something. He was like the leader of the Sky Pirates, who for some reason like couldn't fly through that crevice into like the city. Only like Baloo could. They had like big cannons on it. I think that's why the pirates never like raided the town.
I love that fucking seaplane though.
Oh yeah,
That
what
yellow.
was it called?
I can't remember the yellow and red seaplane.
I want to say the Spruce Goose, but I don't think that was it.
That was a real plane.
Wasn't it the duck?
Look it up. I'll look it up right now.
Maybe it was like the Millennium Duck.
I'll look it up. Talk amongst yourselves.
I mean, if you think maybe we like it so much because it was very like he was like Han Solo. He was like a big, fat bear Han Solo, and that was his Millennium Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
And he took on smuggling jobs. Wasn't he a smuggler at the beginning or something?
Dude,
I have no idea. I don't remember Tailspin at all.
Oh God, we need a fucking Netflix Tailspin.
I think I was like 8 when I watched that, and I remember the little. I want to call him Little Bear, but I know that's not his name. That was a different show. That was another kid show.
Kit. That was
Kit.
the little
dude.
Yeah.
I used to be like Kit's mom. I was like with them high-waisted fucking pants. I was like, I think she had a purple sweater. I was like, oh yeah, she can get it.
So you were into the furries before furries were a thing.
Dude, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. That was another
that's
one.
Definitely same universe.
Yeah.
Yep. Same
The
universe.
Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Goof Troop, which
That's a different thing.
No, I mean, dude, that could even be clumped in to the same Duckburg.
You think?
Yeah, because Goofy and Donald are friends.
oh yeah, good call.
You know, so I mean, they live in the suburbs.
All right.
They live far away from Scrooge.
From the crazy fucking city people.
And I'm pretty sure that Scrooge has the nephews because Donald like joined the Navy or something like that. Wasn't that the official Disney
I
explanation?
have no idea. I didn't follow Disney TV shows that closely.
I think that was. I think it was like the old newspaper comic strips show. Like
really?
Donald
The sea
dropping
duck.
him.
The
Sea
sea
duck.
duck.
That's close to the Millennium Falcon.
And do you know what, man? The mom's name was Rebecca Cunningham. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I see. You
got that
happy in the
glare. I
pants
got that-
right now.
I got
Yeah,
that-
he's
wasn't
like, yeah. He's like that bun.
Hey, wasn't that the mom's name in Full House?
Yeah, Aunt Becky.
Aunt Becky.
Dude, she was hot too.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was
God.
up for the Witchblade when they were gonna do like a live
I
action.
wanted that. Like, no, that's what I wanted. Whenever I heard that they were going to do a Witchblade television show, I was like, Aunt Becky, immediately. She looks exactly like that chick. Do it. Instead, they got some fucking over 50 chick with a fucking pack-a-day habit, like 10-pack-a-day habit, who was like, we gotta. Like, oh, you took all the sex appeal out of this
I don't
fucking
even
show.
remember them making a live action show.
That's
how unmemorable it was.
It was one season, and I bought it at Movie Stop because it was like $5. I was like, I never got to see it. I bought it. I still haven't watched it.
Oh man.
The kid's name you had was Kit. It's Kit Cloud Kicker. Tell me
Kit,
that's.
I mean, it was
Tell me that's
Kit.
not the most like Star Wars-y sounding name though.
Dude, I would
Luke
not.
Skywalker, Gavin
Are you on the
Darklighter.
Wikipedia?
Kid Cloud
Yeah.
Kicker.
I bet
Kid Cloud
you
Kicker?
read through there, it's gonna be like it was inspired by Star Wars, the down to earth 1930s animal Star Wars,
Yeah, Stalinist Soviet Union. Yeah, it's
and it had like the great intro.
Yeah, I remember that.
perfect.
Yeah, I don't know how this guy can say that Darkwing and Ducktales are different universes because
Fuck him. He doesn't know.
yeah, it's just because they got the same fucking character. And Gizmo Duck, he was in Darkwing a couple episodes
Was
too.
he?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that he at least guest starred once or twice.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Fuck yourself.
Yeah. And
You know
they
nothing.
they already did like the parallel universe because they had like Negaduck
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Negaduck. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was like the opposite. He was like the Bizarro.
from the negative universe, the
Yeah.
Nega World or whatever. It was like, yeah.
You can't have three universes.
No, yeah. No, you're overruled. You're
Yeah.
overruled,
What do you
sir.
think this is? Fringe?
This is our story now. This is our headcanon.
Dude, his Darkwing's secret identity was Drake Mallard.
Dude, that's a badass name.
It is. It sounds like that should be like a porn star name.
A porn star, a Wall Street executive.
Boom.
Oh,
Yes.
yep, there he is, right there. You just Googled a picture of Gizmo Duck on Darkwing Duck. Your argument that Gizmo Duck was the Superman in a different universe, invalid. Look at Gizmo Duck, launch pad.
Gyro. You were struggling.
I was like guy in the background. Weird Chicken Man. Ah, dude, I remember the episode where they did like the Dark Knight Returns version. Ah, that's great.
Gotta go back and watch that.
I'm gonna go to Walmart. They have to have this on DVD. it's got to be on DVD by now. But no, dude, I used to run around the backyard like doing this thing. I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Remember when
I am the gum that sticks to the bottom of your shoes.
Darkwing Duck. That's gonna be the intro song of this episode. Darkwing Duck.
The jazz one.
Get dangerous.
Jazz one?
Yeah, from the
the Saturday morning slow jams from the postmodern jukebox.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a badass cover of it.
We can get sued.
No,
as long as you say their name.
yeah, I'll give them credit. I'll give them. I given them money. I went to go see them last year.
Yeah, it's hot as a motherfucker in here.
Yeah, it's sweaty balls going on.
Well, I could turn on the AC, but then we gotta turn the gain way up.
Nah, leave it. We'll
Grab that fan. Where's the fan?
We'll just sweat this mother out. You talk amongst yourself.
Made no sense. You're wearing 2 different socks, sir.
Whoa.
Buzz.
Hey now. So, Roy, how was work? I know you were gonna quit the other day or something. You have great work stories because they're.
I know.
You just have meltdowns.
I don't have meltdowns.
You have meltdowns.
I don't melt.
I explode.
The only reason I kind of don't want to talk about it is just in case anybody I work with happens to listen to this. So,
why are you gonna? Your boss isn't gonna listen.
No, but I might have coworkers that bring it up, and I'm not sure I should speak of such things. Not until we make money from this and I can quit work.
You're not gonna be able to quit work off of whatever small stream of revenue we're gonna get off of this thing here.
Damn it.
So.
Yeah, no, I don't think I should tell that just yet. I know.
Ah. All right. Womp womp. Mad Max. You like Mad Max? Did you like Fury Road?
That's hard to say, because as I put it in one of my reviews on Facebook, everything that I judge a movie by, it excelled at. Like graphics, it was fucking phenomenal. Acting was great, but the plot was just lacking, and it needed a little bit more world building and explanation, I guess you could say. But
it did a lot of visual world building, which was really cool. I liked that. They did things like when they would turn on the water and the water would drip and or come down and they would be it's a land void of water.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. It was just a long chase movie and that's what they were going for.
Yeah. But you felt like you were in the hands of a master craftsman of movie telling brilliance, for sure. Kind of like when you watch Ripley. Fucking what's his name?
Ripley?
No, what's his whole
Ridley
name?
Scott?
Ridley Scott, that's the one. Ripley Scott. Ridley Scott. When you walked into Prometheus and watched that movie, you were like, oh yes, I am in the hands of a master craftsman of fucking sci-fi brilliance. That's how you felt when you walked into Mad Max. But the movie itself, I felt was lacking. So,
see, I disagree. I've heard that complaint from a lot of people that there's no story. But I don't know, maybe I read way more into the movie than you guys did, but I found that it did a huge amount of explaining without explaining.
Well, what I was saying, it's all visual.
Right. And they give you just enough so in your own head you can be like, oh, this is like this because of this. And that probably caused that, or
one of the few movies where I like to do my own universe building and thinking.
Yeah.
You can't get away with that with much.
That's what was cool about it, because it didn't have all this exposition in our face. It didn't have the trope of a character explaining to another character what this other character should already know about the existing universe.
And that's just it. I don't know too much about the existing universe because I haven't seen the other movies.
What?
I own them, but I haven't gotten a chance to watch them.
You gotta be smacked with something hard.
So the cool
Roy, get to it.
Zip. So the cool thing about that though is that instead of saying oh man, I don't know enough, it makes you want to know more. So that's how the movie is engaging. You don't not care about it. You like about it, and the movie is good enough to where you want more. And they just didn't give it. They gave it to you in short bursts, visual.
Baby spoons.
Yeah.
Baby spoons.
You know, like the fact that when he was like, I had a baby brother and he was born normal or whatever, so you could tell that there's not a whole lot of kids that are born normal.
Yeah.
So they, like Cuba just said, they tell you things without telling you things. They show you.
I feel like it was far more intellectual than people kind of gave it credit for. I think people are so used to being told exactly what they need to know that I think a lot of people didn't like that.
Yeah, but that's not how I saw the movie. Like, I don't want to be told what's going on. I just want or even to be shown. I don't know. It's hard to, like I said, every single thing that movie did, I would give it a 10. But just for some reason, the overall package I felt was lacking.
Movies and video games, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. Movies and video games have taken the same weird tangent, where the same direction where they used to just kind of throw you in and hope you either swim or you fucking drown.
Yeah.
Right? Especially video games. Movies kind of did the same thing where they threw you into a story and you picked it up as you went. And if you didn't, too fucking bad. And it was a failure on you, not really the movie, because movies were done well. But video games somewhere around the early 2000s, we'll say, said, you start up the video game, you have a tutorial, and then you get through the tutorial, and it's like, okay, press X to jump. Okay, so you hit X, and that shit's still giving that direction to you 75% of the way through the game. You're 3/4 of the way through the game, but it's still telling you shit it did in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I feel like movies do now, where they build a universe, but then they have to hammer you over the fucking head constantly with this singular idea. They have to shove it in your face.
Yeah.
You're not able to find it yourself.
Exactly. I mean, that's one of the things that made Star Wars great, that made Alien great, is because you're just thrown into this universe, into the daily life of this universe, and there is no explanation for 85% of the shit that you're seeing. And that's what this Mad Max was like, Fury Road. And you said you didn't see the other ones. Another good thing about this movie was you didn't need to see the other ones.
Yeah, technically, there's another thing where the creator says all the pieces of that puzzle happen in multiverse.
No, it wasn't that. He says the way the director, George Miller, sees the Mad Max, each movie, the franchise, is that they are stories of Mad Max. Like
a heavy metal magazine.
Sort of. Like, it's because they're all wicked inconsistent. The second and third one, like, they contradict what happens in the other two. And then Fury Road, you get thrown in, you're like, wait a minute, what? Is this before Thunderdome? After Thunderdome? You don't know. So even he goes, you know what? I didn't think of continuity. I just was telling these cool stories in this. And he goes, the way I see it is pretty much like, people in the far off future telling like tales. The legends of Max. Cool. Like, there was a guy named Max, Mad Max, and these are the various interpretations of like his legend.
That'd be cool.
Which I'm cool with. And the reason I bring it up is because and this is a rumor, but if it's a rumor, I really hope it's not true. They're talking about a prequel to Fury Road.
There's no need.
Absolutely no goddamn need.
Yeah.
It will take away from everything we just spoke about.
Plus, wasn't that the regular Mad Max? That didn't... I mean, it was basically an Australian movie.
This was an Australian movie, too. I mean, they all are.
No, I mean, the original movie was, like... What was Mad Max?
You have prequels. You have the three...
The first one was called The Road Warrior.
The Road Warrior, that's what it is. So The Road Warrior came out in Australia, and that was the first Mad Max. It wasn't called Mad Max, it was just called The Road Warrior, and it didn't get much play in America, and once it started to come over to America and it got popular, then they created the second one, which was Mad Max, the fucking Thunderdome, whatever the hell it was.
Thunderdome was the third one.
Well, whatever
the second one was just Mad Max.
Mad Max.
And then the third one was Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
So people who went to the theater or liked cinema had to go back and find the Australian movie that was called The Road Warrior, that was the prequel to this fucking other Mad Max movie. I researched it before I went into the Fury Road because I was like, okay, if I'm gonna watch Fury Road, I should probably know some things about this fucking character. So I went back and learned about the director and the cinematography and where it took place and all the intricacies of it. There's no need for a fucking prequel. There's a prequel that exists. It's called The Road Warrior.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, they're saying the prequel will focus on Charlize Theron, her character, the Furiosa. Furiosa. It's like...
That shouldn't be called Mad Max then.
Right, exactly. I don't... Like, she was... clearly she was the
The
main
Riddick
character
Chronicles.
of that movie, and she was a cool character. But I don't need to. We get all the explanation that we need in the movie about her backstory. I don't need to see it. Like I feel it's not an interesting enough story. The way that like all stories should be told is like what we're seeing is the interesting part of that character's life.
Exactly.
I mean, sometimes, yes, some stories are good when you go back. We can go into the Star Wars prequels, no matter how poorly they might have been handled, going back and seeing the story of Anakin Skywalker and seeing the era of the Old Republic and everything was cool.
Yeah.
You know, but in this case, it's like I feel like her life was tragic, and then she became this dude's main truck driver. But we don't need to see anything of her life before that. It's just not necessary. What the hell are you doing back there?
Just moving this further away.
Gee, Jesus. Ruining the goddamn podcast.
You're ruining it. You could have ignored me.
No, not when you're knocking over bottles.
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, what really brought her to the forefront, one, also, is the fact that I didn't know that the movie was going to be about her.
Right.
So, like, I was like, oh, shit, there's this, we're going to see Mad Max. That's cool, But then you have this really kick-ass female character that's just... It was random at first. You were like, holy shit, like, who the fuck is this chick? And then you discover that the movie is more about her and her experience and whatnot.
Yeah, Max is a total secondary character.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like it almost takes away from putting her, like, making a movie only about her, because...
You already had a movie about her. You don't need another one.
But there's something... Like, I feel like the big twist would be like, okay, we're going to call this Imperial or Feroso, or whatever the fuck her name was. And then, like, a quarter of the way through the movie, you find out that the movie's actually all going to be about Mad Max. You know what I mean? Like,
it also says that, like, it'll show the rise of Immortan Joe. It's like,
don't need to see it.
Yeah, don't care. Don't care. It's just, he's another warlord in this vast Australian desert land.
I liked seeing the Emperor, Palpatine, become the Emperor. Don't need to see fucking...
I don't need to see the Emperor's school days.
Yeah, well, that... I would... Not his school days, no, but there's no need to see regular Joe turn into a Morton Joe. I mean, it's just not...
Mad Max, regular Joe.
Yeah.
Pre-Immortan. I don't know. I love that movie. I don't like buying movies on DVD or Blu-ray very often, especially when most things are on Amazon or Prime. But
hell on Netflix now.
Yeah, is it Amazon or Prime? They're the same thing. My bad.
I know what you meant.
That's our podcasting drinking.
That's why I threw Netflix in there.
Yeah, Netflix. So it's like, this is one that I want to buy. This is just one of the, like, I want it to be at my fingertips all the time because it's such a fun movie. Don't press buttons. Don't press buttons, Roy.
But I wanted...
Don't press the buttons.
I wanted the screen to be back on.
Don't press the buttons. Didn't you watch Lost?
No. We started to, we started to watch it years ago. We got like into halfway through the second season and we gave up on it because it was awful.
You or we collective, like
we collective, you,
okay.
me, Bree, Aaron, we all used to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, no, I just finished it like a few months ago though.
Yeah, but so you finished it fucking 7 years later?
Yeah,
the
exactly.
only thing I remember is like we used to gather to watch Lost at Bree's apartment. And Dave wanted to show up at one point in time, and this is the last time it ever happened. This is the last time we ever met for Lost. Was Dave showed up with his kid and his wife, and they just talked throughout the entire fucking episode. And like then the baby started crying, and I remember Dave just trying to pick up his baby from the thing, but he was still talking, so he just kept mashing his baby's head into the handle of the baby carrier. And I'm like, okay then.
Poor Dave.
Sad. Don't pour Dave on this. He might listen.
Well, he just told a story about how...
And I'm going to cut it out. Well, either way. There needs to be no Mad Max.
No,
give us another one. A complete
give us
random...
another.
Even cast another dude as Max, because it doesn't fucking matter.
No, but that guy was perfect as Mad Max.
Yeah, for the 2 lines of dialogue he had, he was.
He also ate a lizard very...
What about the theories behind him?
What are the theories behind him?
That he was the primitive boy from the last movie.
Oh yeah,
That just kind of grew up and like took on the persona of Max when he grew up.
Yeah, I heard that theory, but then it's kind of shot down in the first scene where they show his car and it gets destroyed and they capture him and everything like that. So you're telling me that the little wild child grew up and somehow found another like Dodge Charger just like Max?
Maybe.
Was it a Charger or an Interceptor?
Was it a Charger? I don't. Yeah, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was a Dodge either way.
Probably a bunch of old men trying. I would think it was Tuesday on the.
Back to the interweb.
You're just upset because you can't tell the difference between a car that has anything on it and a bicycle.
No.
That was a terrible analogy.
Yep.
Absolutely was.
Yep.
Welcome to modern.
Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. This is
Sunday.
This is what we do on a Sunday afternoon, and we had a couple beers, and I burnt my mouth on your pizza, and I'm still hungry because you ate the last slice.
I know, that was pretty fucked up. Your girl was like, oh no, you guys can totally have the pizza. Me and Aaron and the kid are gonna have chicken soup and mac and cheese and this and that. And you just like walked in and was like, hey, pizza.
He's like, pizza, cookie.
I had 3 pieces.
Well, it's all good. It's all good.
I only had 2. I'm hungry. Feed me, Seymour.
I got chips. And I got Reese's cups too.
Oh, yes, go get them.
Those little ones.
So,
the little
anyways,
ones?
moving on. Anything to add?
No. What else would we have, buddy?
Not much more. But
Scramble.
These are our live shows when we don't prepare. This is just how it goes. Hey, there's a kid.
Did any of
fishing
you
over
watch
there now.
Son of Zorn?
Son of Zorn?
I saw the previews for it.
Hey.
Is it
Oh,
already
yeah.
out?
He put the thing on the Facebook page.
Yeah, that was
right?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch it?
I didn't
Oh, it's
know-
out?
I didn't
It's
know
out
it was
already?
Yeah, I have the first episode downloaded.
Oh,
Is
that's
it-
awesome.
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh. then don't bring it up.
I love
if
the-
we're not
in-
gonna give it a review.
In one of the trailers, it's he comes in on this like giant bird and it's in the driveway or something like that. It's like a falcon steed. And the wife says, "Oh, not this again. What are you doing?" And he says, "Oh, fine. You want me to? Fine, I'll get rid of it." He just pulls his broadsword and just jabs it in the neck, and it dies. And she's like, "Oh my God, what'd you do?" He's like, "I do this all the time. Don't worry, it's dead." And then it like comes back to life. He's like, "Oh shit, here we go!" And they start doing battle. Dude, it's fucking badass.
I need to watch it.
What do you think?
It's animated He-Man as like a divorced dad.
Yeah, but
Inserted into
live
a
action.
live action
Yeah.
show, like sitcom.
like the concept is definitely pretty original for television.
Oh yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, is this gonna last?
It's on Fox. Of
Is
course
it-
it's not going to last.
No,
It's going to get really fucking good.
Animation on Fox lasts. Like that's the only thing on Fox that runs
That's not
for
true. What was
more
that?
than a decade.
Yeah, but they try to kill it constantly, don't they?
They do.
I
What
think
was that?
after they tried to cancel Family Guy that first time, I don't think. I think Fox, I think Seth MacFarlane just runs that network.
No, because Seth MacFarlane runs the animation network. He can basically do whatever he wants and funds whatever he wants at this point. But that's why fucking American Dad's still going. Who the hell watches American Dad anymore?
I don't know. That was just a placeholder until he got Family Guy back, and for some reason it's still. Dude, I'm insulted that American Dad still runs, but the Cleveland Show got canceled.
Yeah.
Like the Cleveland Show was immensely, like fucking way up in the sky better than fucking American Dad.
But
American Dad was terrible.
Yeah, but you know what? To me, man, Cleveland show still sucked.
Yeah,
It was better than American Dad, but it blew. I mean, when you've got things like Archer, and I had to say Archer instead of Archer, like I normally would, because on the last podcast I listened to, I said Pop Tot. Like I say, I go get some Pop Tots. I said Pop Tot, and I heard myself. I was like, oh God, I sound awful, awful. So you're watching Archer.
But no, there was that.
When you have Archer, Bob's Burgers, there's so many good.
Archer's not on Fox, though.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, so much good animation to compete with, and you have American Dad. Go fuck yourself. American Dad blows. Cleveland Show, shit on it.
The best episode of American Dad I ever saw was the one with the Rapture. Did you ever see that one? I think we talked about this on an episode of the last Dead podcast that we used to do. But
We're like Fox. We don't let the podcast go for very long.
yeah, we're not a reimagining. We're a reboot, like everything else.
We had that podcast for like 3 years, didn't
Yeah,
we?
and then it got rebooted or reimagined, I guess, whichever.
Yep.
But either way, like it was I never found that show funny. I always thought it was stupid. I never liked the goldfish or the alien or anything like that.
The alien's the only thing I like. The cigarette, weed smoking, cross-dressing gay alien. That's the only
And
funny
Patrick
thing.
Stewart as the leader,
I mean,
as the head of the FBI.
that was funny, Patrick Stewart.
Or CIA.
But the best episode was the episode with the Rapture, where, like, to make a long recap of the episode, like, the Rapture happened, it becomes like a Mad Max, like, all the good people are taken off into heaven and all the sinners are left, and his wife goes with, I don't remember, it was the Antichrist, but the Antichrist is, like, literally the anti-version of Jesus, so he's, like, this retarded, literally, like, mentally retarded, evil guy, but because he's dumb, he's easy to destroy, and they destroy him, and then they can choose, like, how to do the rest of eternity, and they decide to spend eternity, like, the husband and wife, living their life the way it would have been, and so it goes back to the beginning of the episode, showing that the entire series, they're already dead. They're dead, and the whole show is just their afterlife.
Huh.
I thought that was fucking brilliant. It was awesome. I'm like,
That's like a
this show is
a
great.
Futurama twist right there.
It really is.
But then they probably in the next episode shit all over that episode.
I didn't watch the next episode.
But yeah, don't leave it like that.
I think I think that was actually the last episode I watched of that show. I was like,
That's a
wow,
good-
that
that's-
was great. That was a good way to end it.
That was your season finale.
Pretty my series finale. Yeah, pretty much.
I like it.
And sort of like the Futurama, I love Futurama. That's one of my favorite shows. Top 5 like favorite animated shows. Love it. I've never watched the final episode.
You just don't want to.
I don't want to. I can't. Like, because it was canceled so many times and had like one whole season are all those like animated movies that they now chop up and make season 5 or something out of it. But, Futurama ended so many times, but it managed to come back. Now that they gave it a final ending, the final episode is the finite ending of the show. I can't watch it. I don't want it to end. It's one of those things. It's like, as long as I don't watch it, Futurama will always continue.
I've got
It'll
a game.
always live on.
I do that with a game, Final Fantasy VII. Everybody knows it's a game that came out in 1998, and I've replayed that game. That's a game that I've put easily 100 hours into. All my characters would be like level 80. I could go into the main last battle, which is super tough, and wipe everything out in a matter of like seconds. Just complete decimation. I just absolutely could. Every time I get to that point, I start the last battle with Sephiroth, the boss battle. I hit restart. I start a new game. I cannot finish that game. I could easily, but if I do...
Have you ever finished it?
No, I've never finished that game. I've never seen the ending because, again, like you do, if I do... I loved that game so much as a kid.
Be on your deathbed.
Right. It'll
be the last thing.
Yeah.
I'm finally going to do it. I'm gonna beat Sephiroth.
Before he dies, that's what he's gonna do. Before I die, I'm gonna watch the final episode of Futurama. What's your deathbed thing?
Oh God.
Just sadness.
I'm just gonna masturbate till everything goes black.
I'm gonna kill.
That's what I do. What's the difference between that and any other night?
This last puff of smoke comes. It goes in the wind and spells Simba.
Oh, that'll do it.
He's like, yeah, that's how I want to do it.
I don't know. See, I finished things, I guess you could say. Like Mass Effect would be something like that, but I finished that, and I've played it like
See, now it's just
9 fucking times.
Now on his deathbed, he's gonna jack off, not die, and just have to sit there waiting for death in that like post self-coital shame for about half an hour. Like, I can't clean up. And then he's going to die.
My grip won't let go.
Nurse!
Bring me a wet towel and a sponge bath.
Oh, that's something I would not want a sponge bath. First of all, you gotta loosen the dead fingers off the dead penis.
Hold on, what? If he's dead, why are you sponge bathing him?
Don't they clean the body before they like put it in the coffin and
Yeah,
shit?
nurses don't do that. The mortician does that.
I didn't say nurse. Somebody's got to do it.
Fuck that, man. I just close casket.
Yeah. I just burn me up. I don't.
Yeah.
No, We have a limited amount of space in this world. I don't need my carcass taking up more grass
Not that you
space.
really think
Don't
about
tell that to the Italians.
Isn't it really strange when you think that there's millions of people dressed for the fanciest party you've ever gone to buried underground? They're all formally dressed. There's millions of them in this country alone, and they're all underground.
I think it's stupid.
I think it's stupid.
you
I
drive-
look at a huge fucking cemetery and go, what a bunch of wasted fucking land.
Absolutely. I'm like,
They could have put a mall there.
why don't they just put they could put affordable housing there? It's like, but no, instead,
But that's where they're gonna rest for the rest of their lives.
no, not until 100 years from now, it gets bulldozed over and forgotten about. And then 100 years later,
imagine going
when
to-
somebody's redoing their basement, they find a bunch of bones.
And it's haunted.
Yeah.
Never told me that this mall was built on a ancient burial ground. Thank you for knowing what that was from. Thank you. Venture Brothers.
It's ignore me.
Great episode.
It is dumb. You drive by you. I get like some historical cemeteries.
I like
You
those
know,
little
the,
tiny
yeah, the
family
little
ones.
plots where they're like Ben Franklin was buried and Abraham Lincoln and like 5 other guys. and
Until
stuff
we
like that.
found
It's like,
a more, what's the word I'm looking for? Sophisticated way of disposing of bodies that
we
Economic.
have. It's
Economical.
Called incinerating. them.
Exactly. Like that was invented back in World War II when the Jews were being
Those were still living people.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
No, but like
Economical, yes. Right? But right?
Morally correct?
Absolutely
No.
no.
no, but like that should be common practice. Like there should be no people just being thrown into the fucking ground anymore. It's just
No,
it just
it's
doesn't seem right. It seems
Especially from a health standpoint. I know they say 6 feet deep, you're not going to get any of that. But what about gases? Gases rise. You know, what if a squirrel digs and hits a gas pocket and just dead
Just
comes flying
explodes.
out?
Just exploding
I
graveyards.
think we just found the next movie for the next zombie movie that's coming out. Is the fucking little raccoons digging for food.
The fucking dude from Ice Age. Just
You know, the gas pocket explodes near the friggin'
Just a chain reaction.
near the acorn. The acorn comes to
No.
life and eats his brain.
no near the guy who's tending to all the grass in the fucking cemetery. He's like, oh, and then boom, zombie apocalypse.
Well, no, because then it would hit the sewer line or the gas line, and that would fall all the way, just like in if that falls all the way to the main hub, it's gonna blow. What is that? Batman?
Yeah.
Which Batman movie?
The
first
Batman
one
Begins.
Yeah, it would just blow up every gas line because they're all connected, and then that's how we get into our Mad Max. We have no fuel. All the dead bodies are incinerated, and but it was also
No, they have
dead
fuel.
bodies.
It's just like at a very high premium. Like that's what everybody's warring over.
Yeah, everyone's fighting over it.
The
So-
gasoline.
Yeah, so we have some.
Yeah.
We have some small pockets that still have it, barrels and whatnot.
I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Dude, he had with that butthole lip.
He does-
Where were the other direction?
Ra's al Ghul is dead.
Rachel!
I killed him myself.
Just imagine.
And then you gave me a blowjob.
I stabbed you first.
Okay, Bruce, I think you've had enough.
This is what I imagine your baby's butt would look like after the tube. I wish you had a picture of that. Bleh. Okay, I'm moving on.
Because a man can be killed, but an idea lives on.
Okay.
All you imagine is your girlfriend on the other side of the fucking wall, like listening, like, what the fuck are they talking about? Jesus Christ.
I know, I've had my headphones on when I'm like in the closet over there, you know, talking to you guys. So
Heaven's in a closet.
she just hears me talking to nobody, but she doesn't hear the nonsense that comes out of your guys' faces.
Well, I would imagine the same thing on our end.
Yeah, your girl's just hearing through the fucking the basement floor.
Yeah, just all sorts of cackling and then now I came.
Gross.
I'm surprised we don't hear any like shut
Yeah,
up.
Quiet down. Trying to suck these snots out of my baby's face.
Is anybody down there when I
Yes,
stop?
don't do that.
No? Really? There's people living down
Yeah.
there, or is that's not the fencing?
It's
school?
not living, it's a fencing
You live in
school.
like
Oh,
a.
so what do you? Is somebody sleeping in their school?
Maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. Might be a dance studio like that dance studio over there. You hear people all the time. You hear people upstairs all the time.
So you got a bunch of little hotties over there at the dance studio?
I don't know. I think they're all little kids, except for like the actual teacher.
I mean, they gotta have like adult night, right? Like adult classes.
Like adult and stripper night?
yeah.
Adult night at the dance bar?
Ladies' night. Free Manhattans.
No, that was Body Rock, but they moved over to the building next door.
No more looking out that peephole. Look at that smile on his face.
You knew.
He's like, yeah, that's what I do.
Yoga pants all the time.
What you gotta do?
Yoga
So,
pants.
what else did we have?
FEMA camps.
FEMA camps! Black helicopters! Infowars.com. It's one of the only impressions I do have, like, not all the way, but like I'm halfway there. I gotta work on it.
It is. It's so good that it just randomly pops into my head.
Good. You guys have your own voices. I only have 3 lines.
And like I said, every time I hear your FEMA camps, and then it turns into Rick.
Walking Dead's gonna be coming back in a few days.
I still need to watch the last season.
Well, they just put on the last season was good.
That's what I hear.
It was
I've
good,
hated
man.
the show since season 2.
I know. Well, rightfully so. You could probably skip seasons 2 and 3, but it picks up. I think they're going on season 6 or 7.
Something like that.
I need to read Compendium 3 before I get into.
Well, no, you should watch the show first. That way, you don't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah.
That way,
So when I do get to the Compendium and go, that show fucked it up real bad.
no, well, yeah, you would, but you're not going to have the hatred of the show because that's a problem. Is when you read the comic first and then you go to the show, you're like, okay, well, yeah, they fucked this up, yeah, they fucked that up. But when it's reversed and you watch the show first, you're like, yeah, well, they could have done it better, but the show was still good. You still have that leftover feeling.
See, I'm conflicted about it because like if it was a book or a comic book property, and that's how you discovered it. I feel like that's your fandom of it, and then they make a movie or a TV show or something like that, and they might make changes, and I get that, and then but it's also it like mutates and separates into a separate fandom, like the universe of the TV show, and occasionally you'll get a franchise where they're both good. The source material is awesome, and then the show or movie is awesome, and it's like, oh man, I love all of this, and now like this love is together with this love.
Multiple universes, Cuba.
roofed. And there's like a nice roof over this awesome fandom of mine.
I.e. Game of Thrones. Now here, that kicks into my point. Watch the show before you read the comics, because anyone who's watched,
or are we still talking about
I'm talking about Walking Dead.
Okay.
I'm using Game of Thrones as an example. I've never seen anybody who's watched the show and then read the books loves them both.
Yeah.
Anybody who reads the books and then watches the show complains and thinks the show is shit.
See, I've heard the opposite. Most people, hardcore book, Game of Thrones book people, think that. But I've found most people who have read the books and then watched the show actually prefer the show because it's like slightly less convoluted than the books.
Yeah, but you get a lot less information. You get a lot less story. It's more streamlined, yeah. But the books are better. And I know that's like a very...
I picked up the Compendium 3, and I'm at the point after Negan, but at so many points into that fucking compendium, like, I was like, fuck, they just killed, like, what the fuck, this just happened, and this is insane. But it was also, I watched the season before I read the book.
Yeah.
And Negan only comes in at the end of the season.
Right, yeah. We'll see him in his full glory this
So
season.
do you agree with me, Aaron, then? Then he should watch the show and then read the comics so he doesn't have the negative attached to it to compare it to?
I think so, because I wasn't caught up when I watched the last season at all. And then once I finished it, I was like, oh, Negan's coming in. I should probably read it beforehand before I watch the show. So last season I didn't read up to that point, and I enjoyed last season a lot. Now I've read the comic before the season, and we'll see how that plays out.
See, the problem with it is that you can do so much more in the comic that you can't do in the shows.
Yeah, that's the thing that drives me crazy.
But you're setting yourself up for failure, knowingly.
No, because
Yes.
if the show had balls,
But they can't.
if the show had
can't.
balls, they could do stuff.
They can't do what
Game
they
of
can
Thrones
do.
has balls.
That's not on cable. That's on HBO. That's a totally different animal, and
Still.
you know it.
Still.
No, you're setting yourself up for fate. You love to hate that. You love doing it.
Yeah, I do love to hate.
You love reading the comic, comparing it to the show, and then saying the show sucks. When you could like the show, and then read the comic and like them both. You enjoy it. I'm convinced.
I
You
do
it on
I do
purpose.
enjoy it, but I don't want to enjoy
You just
it.
want to bitch about it.
Yeah, otherwise
That's
we'd have
it.
no content. Look, we're at an hour, and we didn't even think we'd make it past like 15 minutes. So
I had
I think
faith.
I think the episode name of this podcast one should be like parallel universes, because the major topic of everything we've talked about has been different parallels.
I don't know. I like human caviar.
Do you think in a parallel universe we're doing the same thing? Or do
Well,
you think
it wouldn't be parallel. It's-
What? Well, maybe we're a lot more famous. Like we actually do this for a living.
You mean the last podcast like took
actually
off?
took
and,
off.
Yeah, it's-
We became big names.
I always think that way. Like if I want to do something, I always put myself in my mind that this already exists in a parallel universe. I've already done this and have been successful at it, and I try and glean that information from the opposite universe. I smoke a lot of weed before I do a lot of projects. I'm just saying that right now.
Well, I love Neil Tyson deGrasse's the way he talks about the universe and infinity, and how he says that the universe never stops. It's so infinite that through sheer numbers, you know how if like right now there's so many people in the universe on the planet that right now there's probably like 1 million different couples having sex. Well, take that and extrapolate. So there's another planet. There's planets with aliens on them, right? Probably somewhere in the universe. If you go out far enough, since the universe never stops and it's infinite, there is another Earth with people. Since evolution went every same way with humans, but instead of being named, maybe I'm Cuba, you're Roy, and you're still Aaron. I fucked that up.
You're the same. You're,
Yeah,
the,
you're still
you're
the
a
same.
universal constant.
Yeah, maybe you're like Doctor Who.
Yeah, you're a fixed point in time.
You're what brings us all together. But if you go far enough away from our Earth, you will find another Earth in one of the directions where every decision up until me making that noise by flicking the table right now occurred in the same exact order.
Didn't Futurama do that? They went to the edge of the universe, and then they saw themselves on the other side of a parallel universe where all these different colors and
They
wearing
did it a
cowboy
couple
hats.
times where like he fucked up or whatever, and he was in a time machine, but
Yeah.
he passed the point of where he fucked up, and he's like, "Fuck, I went too far."
It couldn't go
And
back in time. It could
yeah,
only go forward in
So
time.
he just kept going forward in time over and over again until it repeated itself until he got to the exact point in time where he
But
was supposed to be.
supposedly by theory that's supposed to be true. Like
Yep.
instead of doing this once, I actually did it twice. Like every decision you make, you have a choice, and you've taken a path, and they're all branching paths. So I don't know. That's pretty fucking
in
insane.
quantum physics or whatever, they analyzed that. Was it? What was the particle that did it?
The God particle there. The
I don't know if it was the Higgs boson, but like one of the particles, like it blinks out of existence and then it comes back.
Oh,
and
it's in
then-
superposition.
Yeah.
It's in two places at once. It blinks out of position completely.
Yeah.
Look at us being all smart and shit.
Science, the news of tomorrow.
Today. So, was there any more? Did I cut you off? I'm sorry.
Oh no, that was it.
He's like, no, I forgot.
Like I did. The
It
same-
blanked out of existence.
What are we talking about?
Last night I was brushing my teeth and I was thinking like I had a very small existential crisis while looking into the bathroom mirror. I was brushing my teeth and I'm going, you know, I mean, people have aneurysms and embolisms and shit, and their universe just shuts off. And I'm just staring in the mirror. I'm going, I could die at any moment. I could die right now. What happens? My life insurance policy comes in. But two of them, $200,000 goes to my surviving beneficiaries, and what's ever going to happen? What's my daughter going to do? And then I just put the cap back on the toothpaste, finished brushing my teeth, washed my face, and I went to bed. It was just the weirdest thing. For like 30 seconds, I had this like complete
could
mental.
Crouching fear.
Die. What is my kid gonna do without me? Well, time to go jacket.
Pretty much, you know.
A little jack and sleep, and the universe is all fine again. Oh, that's another episode I named. Jack
Too
and
much
sleep.
baby batter in the brain, fucking with your emotion.
Human caviar and baby batter on the brain.
Oh, I'm gonna write that one down too. Baby batter on the brain.
Why are these most
Parallel tube sucking.
Now you're just trying too hard.
These all have to do with sperm.
That's generally how everything begins, isn't it?
It's very.
Good night, everybody.
That was speaking of parallel universes. That Sliders.
What about Sliders?
That was a fucking great show, and like all the parallel universes and shit. Like that's something I want to see a reboot of.
I'm surprised they haven't rebooted it.
Well, they're rebooting MacGyver. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Did they try to reboot Knight Rider?
They did reboot Knight Rider on like the CW or something like that.
Yeah, but it didn't last long, right? I'm assuming.
I think it went like 2 seasons. I'm not
Really?
positive. I don't think it. Yeah, it didn't
MacGyver
last very
doesn't.
long.
It doesn't seem like a show that could be rebooted. I mean, it could be rebooted.
We
but
already
I mean,
had it, and it was called Burn Notice.
Not even that.
Yeah, that's true. Burn Notice is definitely very MacGyver.
Basically,
inspired.
but like with MacGyver's whole thing about like taking daily objects and turning them into fucking grenades and shit. Like we have fucking smartphones now. You can create anything you need.
Yeah,
There's
Not
no
only
point.
that, not only that, but in a world of terrorism and homeland security, do we really want to show how to take an electric pencil sharpener and maybe some household
make a machine gun out of it?
cleaning supplies, how to make a fucking fertilizer bomb?
Yeah.
Like, we don't need that.
And part of MacGyver was Richard Dean Anderson, who played him. It's
Amazing hair.
yeah, it's like just like the way he played him. That's one of the defining things of that show. It wasn't a good show. It got the ratings because the women who, not to sound racist, but kids, even up until the 80s, many women stayed home and did not work.
Not racist,
So,
sexist.
sexist.
Misogynist.
Yes, I didn't want to be misogynist.
Didn't they also make
But,
a
like,
reboot called MacGruber?
That was The Simpsons. But a lot of women, like that show got such high ratings because a lot of women watched it. Like that was their woo.
No,
Richard
that was McBain. MacGruber was a cop show.
From SNL. It was like the SNL version of MacGyver, and they made like a comedy version of it.
Bang! Look at that. I'm done.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Another
McBain.
Another thing that's being rebooted that does not need to be rebooted, besides this podcast.
Your mom.
It was Alien Nation. They're rebooting it. They're making a new movie.
That's weird. Why?
I don't know. Like, like.
Actually, no. I want to see a reboot.
No, I want to see if they reboot it, I want a rebooted show. I don't want a movie.
Yeah.
I don't want to reboot the Alienation movie sucked.
Yeah.
Let's be honest with ourselves. The show was cool.
I want They Live, and I want an Alien Nation show, and I want them to deal with how the aliens think we're all fucking stupid for talking about racism and sexism and all this type of nonsense.
Well, a cool thing that I was reading about people's comments when I read that they were rebooting this was that it doesn't need to be a reboot. This could be Alienation could be a straight continuation. It's been 20 years or 25 years that since the aliens have been on Earth now.
Yeah. Like a District 9 kind of
exactly.
thing.
Like, what is? Let's see what life is like now that they've adjusted. Like that an entire generation has now grown up on Earth, different from their parents. That would be a far more interesting dynamic than starting over again.
Yeah.
It's there's things that's like, oh yeah, with the technology today, totally rebooted, make it again. It'd be really cool. It's a great idea. But then there's things where it's like, no, I want to see a continuation. I want to see more. Like Ghostbusters, didn't need to be rebooted. It's one of those. It's on the cusp. Didn't need to be rebooted.
Again, I'm gonna
Could have been rebooted.
go ahead and call you a misogynist just again because of that whole controversy. Just thought I'd kick in.
You hate women.
You hate women, don't you?
I didn't hate Ghostbusters because of women. I
Hey,
hated it because it was a bad movie.
That's not what the internet told me.
That's not what feminists say. You hate the movie because you hate women.
Secretly. Subconsciously.
You do, you woman hater.
Dumb bitches.
Ooh, I'm triggered.
Like a
Triggered. Let me dye my hair purple and cut it real short.
Oh, you bastards.
What is this flaky white material that's on this table?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Oh,
Baby batters. Human caviar. One last thing before we go. I've started Supergirl on Netflix. The first season is on Netflix, and I am pleasantly surprised. I could not get into Arrow. Arrow, I just...
It started off
was-
good, and then it was just
I mean,
petered out into
not even, like, the
whiny
first-
babies.
by episode 3, Arrow started getting shitty already. It was like...
As soon as he stopped killing people.
Did he stop killing in episode 3? I
No.
thought that was like first season.
Yeah,
second season or something.
no, he stopped killing people. Yeah, at the end of the first season.
Yeah, I didn't even get that far. I
You
didn't
have
like it.
failed the city.
And then the Flash, I didn't want to go back after the first episode. I'm just like, this is stupid. It's just, both of those are normal CW. Everybody is pretty and doesn't make any sense. Everyone's like, oh, Flash is great. Go back, watch Flash. It's like, maybe I'll try. Maybe I'll try to give it another chance. I couldn't get into it. Supergirl was actually good. It was surprisingly good. It's, considering it's on the CW and the same universe as those two other shows. I'm on episode 4, I think, right now. Or finished episode 4 and going on to episode 5 or something like that. But it's good. The cast is like all female and like 3 main females and 2 black guys, which is like, wow, that's actually for American television a pretty different and diverse cast. And yeah, everybody is fairly young and pretty, but it doesn't take me out of it like it does in Flash. How in Flash, like the girlfriend and the
I never
friend,
watched Flash at all.
everybody is like they're detectives and crime scene investigators, but they're like 21, and it's like, it just doesn't. That doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. It's such a dumb thing to complain
You
about.
have to be 40 and your
show.
dreams have to be dead to be.
No, it's like there's just no character to them. It's like, I'm on this show because I'm pretty. Where Supergirl is like, she doesn't. I don't know the actress's name, but the girl who plays Supergirl does an awesome job of like being a nerdy, clumsy person during the day, which is like her true personality, and then she's learning to be Supergirl. Like they're like.
Is she still Kara Zor-El?
Yeah, Kara Danvers is her adopted Earth name. But yeah, same thing. Like the very beginning is like, she was like, "Yo, you might know my cousin," and like it shows them loading a baby Superman into the pod and stuff like that. And then she's like, "But this is my story," and the camera like pans away, and it's her getting into her pod, and they're saying, "Oh, you have to go and watch over your cousin and protect him." And they change her origins slightly, where as the explosion of Krypton knocks her into the Phantom Zone, which for some reason is just hovering over Krypton. So that's why she gets to Earth 24 or 27 years, 20-something years after Clark Kent, or Kal-El. So, that's why she's younger than him and everything like that. But she's been on Earth for like 12 years now, and she's not a superhero, but just her sort of the same vein of Superman.
But she has all of her powers and whatnot?
Yeah, she just doesn't use them. She's just been living a normal life.
Okay.
And her sister gets on a plane, and the plane has engine trouble, and she flies out and does the Superman thing where she like grabs the bottom of the plane and actually does a pretty cool thing. She's like holding it up, and she's like, yeah, this is awesome. And then she looks up and she sees like a bridge. It's like, I don't know, the Golden Gate Bridge or something like that. And she's like, come on! And she takes the plane and turns it sideways so that the wings don't get ripped off, and it goes diagonal through the bridge, and then like manages to like land it into the water, like the new Tom Hanks movie.
Sully!
It's cool. So
I've heard Sully described as the movie Flight with Denzel Washington. It's just, it's just Flight for white people.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I heard Sully. What's his name? Tom Hanks looks exactly like Sully from Uncharted, and he should just play Sully from Uncharted if they ever do a movie.
That'd be amazing.
That's cool. Maybe.
The broom handle mustache and everything.
But yeah, the Supergirl's cool because she's learning how to be a superhero, and she sucks at it, and I think that's part of like the appeal of her. Is that she goes to a dock fire, like there's like an oil tanker, and there's a fire, and they're like, oh, the fire catches that tanker, it's gonna explode, it's gonna take out 4 city blocks or something like that. She's like, all right, I was like, I'll take care of it. So she like uses the heat vision and like melts the moorings. She goes to the front of the boat, grabs the front of the boat, and like pulls it away from the dock so that the fire can't get to it. And they're like, everyone's like, yay! But she pulled it too hard and rips the front of it off, and the oil all leaks into the bay.
No.
And then like they're like, Supergirl causes an ecological disaster, and she's like, come on! It's like the villains are a little CWE villain wise. They're just kind of like, sort of like the villain of the week.
Yeah, one
But
dimensional.
the whole thing is, when she dislodged from the Phantom Zone, there was a Kryptonian prison, like a prison ship in the Phantom Zone, and it somehow like caught onto her wake and crashed on Earth. When she crashed on Earth, so all these Kryptonian villains are out. Like, not all of them are Kryptonian. They're like villains from other planets and stuff, but some of them are Kryptonian. And I'll give a spoiler alert right now. It's not that much of a spoiler, but in case you haven't seen the show and you just don't want it to be spoiled, her aunt, who is a identical twin of her mother, is one of the villain criminals on this that thing. So she like is in charge of this underground, I don't know what it is, like villain cartel. They have some sort of plan, but they haven't revealed it yet. They've been laying low because of Superman and stuff like that. So they have some sort of plot, and it's kind of cool. They're unaware of kryptonite because the villain. So Supergirl ends up working for this secret organization that's not Cadmus, who is they are sort of like the Men in Black. They monitor alien activity on Earth, and her sister is an agent, and so they sort of kind of recruit her to be part of this now, and they're training her and everything like that. And
they're aware of her, that she's Supergirl?
they've known from like the beginning somehow.
Makes sense if they
that's another part of the mystery, is that they've known her like pretty much her since she's landed and everything. And Superman refuses to work with them, so they kind of have her working for him.
Do you actually see Superman in this?
No, that's the cool part. This second season, you've probably seen the promo images where they show Superman. Like,
He looks like... I don't know.
I think
in
they-
my mind, he looked like Tino.
I think they really dropped the ball on that.
I think they did too, but
They should have gone Dean Cain.
Not even
he is
that.
in it.
No,
he
no,
plays her adopted father.
But he should have been Superman.
Not
He's
even
too
that.
old and
Yeah.
fat now.
They should have brought back the fucking Smallville kid.
Well, he's in League of... not him. No, I was thinking the other guy, Brandon Roth. He's in League of Legends or League of Tomorrow or some other shitty superhero show.
Either way,
on
the
CW.
kid who played in Smallville, who played fucking Clark Kent in Smallville, should have came back as Superman in this show, because it just would have made sense. Or if they were fucking smart, like Marvel, you bring the Superman from the movie into the fucking TV show. But
They're all different
Yeah,
universes.
they're all different continuity.
Again, parallel universes.
What I like about when they don't... I don't think they've actually... They very rarely say Superman. And I was wondering if at first it was a licensing issue, but eventually they did say Superman. But a lot of the time they say
The boy
your
in
cousin,
blue, the guy in
your
blue.
the Man of Steel, stuff like that.
Big blue
But,
Boy
yeah,
Scout.
But what's cool is that like he's always mentioned, and you only see glimpses of him. So like you see like a picture, like Jimmy Olsen has like a Pulitzer Prize winning picture of him, and it's just him streaking through the sky, but you can't see any detail.
It's all, like, blurry and
It's
shit?
Not blurry, it's like in focus, but he's too far away to like actually see him. You just see like the silhouette of like someone going like this. And one episode he actually saves her life.
Oh, shit.
She's like about to black out, and you see this red and blue blur, and then she like very hazily sees like his like ankle in the cape, and then blacks out.
Huh.
And and then like, oh yeah, he had to save you, and then left or whatever. So like, it's stuff like that. And then at one episode, he's like text messaging her or something like that. So it's cool little things like that keep the focus on her, because she is trying to establish herself as a superhero. So they do a good job. The characters are all likable. Like I said, the villains are a little like, I'm gonna get you, Supergirl, because something stupid. But there's a bigger plan behind these villains of the week. And I think I messaged all of us in the group chat that were like, you know what? The first 15 minutes of this were better than 9 seasons of Smallville, because that was one of the most piss me off things about Smallville. We wait 9 fucking seasons to see him fly and put on the suit, and it's 4 fucking seconds. In this one, she flies within the first 15 minutes. She's like, sees the plane, she's like, shit. I'm like, yeah, she's flying.
Green screen technology has advanced.
And it's even cool. Again, I think I like the show because of the little details. Because she doesn't use her powers very much before she becomes Supergirl. Like, she had a hard time flying. Like, she was running down an alley, and like jumped kind of higher than a normal human can jump, but then floated back down, and then had like a look of frustration on her face, and then like jumped again higher, and then it was able to take off.
Nice.
It's sort of like you don't use it, you lose it type thing. So I thought that was cool, a little cool detail that they put in there. That she's
World
just been trying to-
building.
Yes, it was. It was cool.
Maybe I'll check it out. I
Yeah.
still have to watch
It
Stranger
was good.
Things.
I saw the pilot. You definitely need to watch Stranger Things before Supergirl.
Yeah.
I'm
Priorities.
gonna.
Priority. Do Stranger Things, The Get Down, then Supergirl.
I'm not gonna watch The Get Down.
Watch The Get Down.
I don't care about early 80s and 90s hip hop.
That's what everybody who's watched this said. You know, I didn't care about it, but I watched it and it was awesome.
And
I was never a fan of like Grandmaster Flash or whatever.
Grand Flash
I'm gonna-
Master.
I'm
That's
gonna-
a whole different guy. You
I
got
am-
the trench coat.
I haven't seen most of the Get Down. I've only seen that first episode, which was shaky. But
No,
I hear the rest of it's much better.
Yeah.
But it's like the movie Straight Outta Compton. Like, I am gonna get married to a punk rocker who has nothing to do with fucking hip hop and everything like that. But as soon as I put on Straight Outta Compton, she was like, "That was an enjoyable movie." Like, 'cause
I haven't seen that one, but did you watch the Notorious B.I.G. one?
No.
I think it was called Notorious.
No.
That's a good one. That was really good. Notorious. No,
Anyway.
we're not going to start rapping again. No,
Nope.
sorry. All right. So that concludes this episode of Modern Retro.
Parallel universes.
Parallel human caviar.
Well, when you think about it, it is kind of weird that we each started life as. No, I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah. So, anyways,
I was gonna go into this long diatribe of grossness. Never mind.
you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. We have. You can email us if you ever have any questions or anything. We'll anything. We'll answer any question you have.
Where can you email us, Cuba?
You can email us at modernretrocast@gmail.com. The website is modernretro.com. It's up, but it's still a work in progress. I'm gonna be update. I just did something real quick to get it going. As you pointed out, Aaron, it's shit. I have a much better layout that I've been working on the last 3 days. So that'll be up this week. We are on iTunes. Find us there. Leave a rating. Leave feedback. Share it with your friend.
Stitcher.
We're on Stitcher, and I'm taking us off of SoundCloud. So we're only going to be on iTunes and Stitcher from now on. So
Why?
I didn't know you had to pay for the good stuff on SoundCloud. I was like, "Hey, SoundCloud, we're on there," and then it only let me load 2 episodes. I'm like, "What the hell?" And then I looked. It's like, "Oh, you want to load unlimited? $15 a month." I'm like,
Yay.
Nope.
You should put us on YouTube, like the audio, with just like the logo. That's how I listen to a lot of my podcasts. Like if they,
It's not a bad idea.
Maybe.
Just
Maybe I have some YouTube ideas. But,
maybe
those
we
are
should
much later on
finally
down
we
the
should
line.
draw the 3 of us. We should finally draw the 3 of us as our Facebook nicknames. What are you? You're Sir Tree the Tall, Knight of the Order of the Holy Salamander, or some shit.
I think this is when I stopped listening to the chat.
Because you got confused. We changed in our messenger. We changed our names in the.
I
messenger,
gave everybody
so-
nicknames. I called
Yeah.
Cuba Iron Face the Dick Smasher. I'm Roy. What was it?
Roy Odin's
Roy,
son.
Roy Odinson the Meat Hammer. And you were
Brave Yeti.
Brave Yeti the Potato Farmer.
No, it was like father of the potato or something.
And then I changed it to Tree the Tall. What is it? Shit. I'll just look it up.
Tree the Tall, Knight of the Order of the Salamander.
Yeah.
This is something. It does get a little confusing.
Aaron
but,
Tree the Tall, Knight of the Salamanders. I love that function. It's great. So yeah.
Good times, guys. Enjoy. We hope you enjoy the podcast. Keep listening. Share. Tell your friends. And please support us on iTunes. And again, we have more things coming on down
Have
the
a
line.
good night, everybody.
Leave a comment
Love us. Love us.
or not.
Daring duck of mystery, champion of pride, swoops out of the shadows. Darkwing owns the night. Somewhere, some villain schemes, but his numbers are 3, 2, 1. Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck.
Let's get dangerous.
Darkwing Duck. hiding mind behind that shadowy disguise. Nobody knows for sure. Bad guys are out of luck. Here comes Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call DW.